Welcome back to another Mobile Edit Monday episode. Today, we are not going to jump out of Apple Photos. We're going to stay inside of Apple Photos. The image that we're going to be working with today is actually something I took with my iPhone through my sunroof, and you're looking at the ceiling of my garage. Now, I'm thinking of something kind of abstract or just interesting, otherworldly type look edit here, probably in black and white. That's my thought process. We're going to do it all inside of Apple Photos. Now, the first thing that I want to do to really start working with this image and see what I have going on is I want to crop out all of these things that are over here because I don't need the whole image. I just want the areas that I'm interested in. So using a free form, I'm just going to crop out everything except for enough to keep the interest of what I want in the image. And I think that this works. This could be like a background or something like that. I don't know. However, what I am thinking is that this needs to be in black and white. So instead of starting with the light, I just want to see this the way that I want to see it. So I'm just going to turn on black and white. And this way, mentally and visually, I can start working on the vision that I have for this particular image. All right, so the first thing that I want to do after I have the black and white filter turned on is modify the intensity. I think by pulling up on the intensity, it's going to work out quite well. Let's mess around with the neutrals just a little bit here. I actually like the gradient that's coming naturally in the image from dark to bright. So I want to leave that intact as much as possible. By pulling down on the neutrals, it does kind of exaggerate that, but then you start to get these banding issues or these pixelations, and I don't want that, right? So I'm going to pull this back up so that way that disappears a little bit, and we have more wiggle room with how we modify the image. We'll mess around with the tone just a little bit. I really like what's happening here with the tone when I pull this to the right, because I'm getting a lot of contrasty looking things, and that looks kind of fun. And then, of course, you can throw in grain. This is a personal preference. Not everyone likes to see grain in their image, but I think for this photo, it works to have a little bit of grain in the overall image. Now, I've modified the black and white adjustment. I think it's time to come back up here to the light and really see if we can fine tune the way that this gradient works. And mind you, everything inside of Apple Photos is a global adjustment. And I'm okay with global adjustments. I just think that it is something you have to be aware that you are using global adjustments. So first thing, I guess I'll start with highlights by pulling up on those. Maybe if I can get just a little bit more of a kick out of the overall image. And then pulling up on the contrast really does help exaggerate that gradient from left to right with the darker area on the left and the brighter area on the right. And then I'll pull down on the black point. I think this is, or I guess in Apple Photos, you got to pull to the right. That really does help, again, with exaggerating that gradient, which I'm really digging over this entire composition. So I don't want to overdo the edit. I want to make this a fairly, not subtle, because it's not subtle at all, but I want to make this a fairly realistic edit. And I know that sometimes you can push a photo to the over-baked situation, and there's a lot of stuff that I could do. Like I could come down here to the curves module and just put a basic S curve, right? And even that doesn't look too bad. I'm not doing anything like earth-shattering or groundbreaking with this particular image. I'm just having fun and experimenting to see what I could do, and that's what I promised you that I was going to do with this particular photo. Now, sometimes you can get away with doing some interesting things with white balance, especially when you are modifying, we'll go with neutral gray, and especially when you're modifying a black and white. But I think where we were that was perfectly fine. So I'm not going to worry about that. I don't want to spend too much time trying to overbake a photo. I think we've gotten to the end result that will best complement this image. I'd love to know how you guys are using Apple Photos or any other editing application, because I realize not everyone uses an iPhone or a Mac. So if you are taking mobile photos, where are you editing those? Are you editing primarily in On1? Are you editing them on your phone and then sending those to your social platforms? Let me know in the comment section below what it is that you're doing. So I'll leave it here, and I hope you enjoyed this particular video. If you did, smash the like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. I got more Mobile Edit Monday episodes coming up. Until next time, I want you to stay inspired and keep creating. Peace.